everyone. I'm Erica Becker of Garden City, New York Media, and welcome to the GC360 podcast, where we talk about pretty much everything about Garden City, and I have on some of the most interesting community members of Garden City. And with that being said, today I have Althea Robinson with me. And Althea, I am so excited that you're here. We've met a couple of times now. And what you've told me about everything that you have done is just so interesting, and I can't wait to hear more. But Althea was the recipient of the Hometown Hero Award through the Virtual Village Show Winter Edition in 2022. So congratulations. That was definitely well-deserved. You've been doing so much community service for how many years now?
Oh gosh, I guess maybe 40-ish.
40 years. Wow, I don't think anyone can top that. So, Althea, what were some of the most recent community projects that you were working on over this past year?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think through Mineola Garden City Rotary, there are so many projects that come up because our theme is service above self. So we perform many, many services. And so throughout the year and through the upcoming year, we have food drives, various like charitable organizations that serve the people out there in need, especially the people that don't have enough to eat, aren't able to get medicine. There are many projects that Rotary becomes involved in that create other volunteer projects, so that we not only volunteer for Rotary and some of the things we do, but we get so involved with some of the other charities and good works that people do that it opens doors to other things that we get involved in.
Well, that's great. It sounds like it's kind of like a domino effect.
It kind of is.
Charity.
I think my life is kind of like a domino.
Oh, yeah? Why do you say that? In what way?
I don't know. I guess I look back on how I actually got involved in volunteerism. And I didn't look at it as volunteerism at the time because my kids were all little and in school, and I, started out with PTA.
Okay.
And got to meet a lot of great people. And then I guess my association with PTA got me open doors to other things because I met a lot of great people who were involved in other charities, and then they would say to me, you know what? You'd be great at whatever. And somehow I would get involved, and this just went on through the years. And I think, and then it led finally to my first career, which was when my youngest was in middle school, and I decided I'd like to get out there and earn a few extra bucks.
Sure.
And get back into the workforce a little bit. And I had started out as an advertising copywriter with J. Walter Thompson in Manhattan. Wow. And I loved it. I've always written. So the Garden City News was looking for somebody when they had first taken over the paper who had a lot of information about the community. So I applied for the job, and I got it immediately because my memory is one of the people that was with the newspaper, she was actually of the day, the gossip columnist, one might say. But she knew everything that was going on around town.
What year was this?
Oh gosh, this goes back to about 1974.
Okay, cool.
And anyway, so I wrote a letter to the new publisher of the paper, and I said, well, I've had a lot of experience with the paper actually because my cousin and I, the lady that lived next door to my cousin was the gossip column for the Garden City News.
Yeah.
And she used to send us out to get material to bring back to her. I think we were about 10 or 12 years old. So I said that I had a lot of pre-experience with the Garden City News, and I got a phone call right away.
Wow.
Here's what we'd like you to do. So I got, involved with the Garden City News.
That's so
cool. And then
cool.
one thing led to another there. I did a lot of volunteer writing for the paper also because I was eager to get back to my writing.
Yeah.
And so I was with them for a time, and then I guess from there, I met some people who convinced me that because I was involved with the newspaper, I should join the Chamber of Commerce.
And
so
that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother story, and actually I am the longest surviving civic member of the Garden City Chamber.
Wow, you have so many accomplishments. That's one I didn't even know about, and that's just another one to add to the list.
Well, you have to live long enough to be able to
right.
post that.
You're right.
But anyway, and so really through the chamber, I did join the chamber. And it was through this one individual who actually lived to be 101 years old.
Wait, so 101, wow.
He was the charter member of the Garden City Chamber of Commerce, as well as the charter member of the Mineola Garden City Rotary. And so anyway, he convinced me that I should join as a civic member of the chamber. Fast forward. A few years later, maybe about 5 years later, I became the executive director of the chamber, and I held that position for 39 years.
Gosh, wow, 39 years executive member.
So
that's super exciting. I definitely want to get back to talking about this. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back talking with Althea after these messages.
My father never stops moving. But after he had a brain aneurysm, he had a difficult time getting back to his normal routine. That's when I called Alliance Services. They paired him with Rosa. She developed a custom home care plan that helped him with his recovery.
Rosa helped me gain my independence back.
Alliance Services, helping older adults continue to live well and independent.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the GC360 podcast. I'm here today talking with Althea Robinson, my oldest guest to date, which I think is super exciting, and another accomplishment. You were just saying you're the oldest surviving member of the Garden City Chamber. So wow. So Althea, we were talking about the chamber. So you were with that for 39 years. And now, so what are you more focused on right now then? Now that you're not as involved with the chamber, you're doing more of the Rotary.
Correct. Yes, so when I left the chamber about 6 years ago, I actually have been a member of the Mineola Garden City Rotary for 36 years.
Okay.
I was the second woman to be admitted into
The second woman ever.
Yeah, into the Mineola Garden City Rotary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You were like a very you're always like the first of everything, you know, like a very starting motivated person.
In this case,
so cool.
I was the second, and my dear friend was the first.
Yeah.
2 months prior to my being admitted in. And of course, through Rotary, I think that I have met so many great people. And one of the things I do, I write a weekly column, and I am the chairperson of the committee that gets speakers.
Great.
For all of our meetings. We meet every other week on the second and fourth Tuesdays, and it's a lunch meeting, so it's great. There's a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah.
And of course,
important.
the speakers that I bring in are so great. A lot of them are the politicians that everybody well knows.
Okay.
From around Long Island.
Yeah.
And it's just great to have these people come in. So I get to meet a lot of really great people. And I get to promote their talk in my weekly column.
Right. I was going to ask, so what's the column about? And where it's in the newsletter for
It's in the Garden City News.
Oh, the Garden City News.
Yeah, it's in the weekly column.
So what's the column called?
It's called This Week at Rotary.
Cool. And so what do you write about usually in the column?
Well, I see who the upcoming speakers are, and whoever is the next speaker, I promote them. I ask for their bios and a little bit about maybe what they're going to talk about, who they're representing and so forth. It could be a politician, and we always say, let's keep the politics out of it. But still, we've had the county executive, we've had the county clerk, we've had the Nassau County legislator for our district, just many, many people along the line, and it's always so great to have them. We've had Ed Ra, everybody knows Ed Ra, New York State Assemblyman. We have him back. I tell him, Ed, you know what? every year you've got to come back. 'Cause
Yeah.
it also has so much to talk about. They all do.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah, especially with.
And then we have some people that represent other charities speak to us about whatever whatever they are, their efforts are.
Yeah.
And we try to get involved, and a lot of times it's, well, we're running a food drive. We really, one of the great things that we do in Rotary is we created, in 1992, we created RotaCare, which is free health care for those in need.
Oh, wow.
And it's been going on since 1992.
Oh, my gosh.
And it really is a wonderful thing. It was very difficult during the pandemic because people
Yes.
weren't coming out to get help. But we now have a wonderful new facility in Hempstead, where absolutely gorgeous place. It's all been renovated, and
great.
folks come that don't have insurance, don't have any other way to get medical care. And it's all volunteer. The doctors, the nurses are all volunteers.
Wow.
So these
wow,
are,
that's
some of the
amazing.
things. And then we bring Gift of Life children. It's a Gift of Life project that need cardiac surgery and who would otherwise not make it over to this country. And again, it's all volunteer, doctors, nurses, and hospital situations. It's all volunteer.
Wow.
And these kids go back, they get healthy just for the surgery that they get over here. So that's a big thing that
That's a
Rotary
big
does.
deal. You are, I know why you got the Hometown Hero Award for sure. I mean, you are part of so many super important, I mean, that's life-changing.
I'm
for
just
people.
part of. There's a lot of heroes out
There are, but
There
we
are.
need everyone to,
Yeah, it's teamwork all the time.
Definitely. Any support helps. So you're doing a lot and still, like all the way still to you're 91 and you're I would never guess. Like,
Thank you.
what's the secret to your memory? How do you I have not met many 91-year-olds in general, but anyone that I have has not been as sharp as you. Do you do something?
No, I exercise every day.
That's something.
I don't know. I think it's just keeping busy.
Yeah.
I mean, when I retired from the chamber, I could have sat home and done crossword puzzles, I suppose, although I'm not very good at that. But I was already involved with Rotary.
Right.
And I was already involved with the Garden City Foundation as secretary, and I'm also the representative of the Civic Beautification for the Village of Garden City,
Okay.
representing our Property Owners Association. So I do that, and I've been
Yeah.
doing that for about 38 years. So
Wow.
everything I do seems to be long-term.
Yeah, you're very reliable and dedicated. That's good. That's a good
Yeah.
quality.
I think
Wow.
one of the things with all the things I do that means the most to me is I've received a few awards for community service, but one of the things that really is close to my heart is the fact that I had worked many years through the chamber with the Garden City High School business department, and I got to know all those people, and we did programs for the kids at school, and I helped them with various projects they were doing. So because of that, I guess, the head of the business department got in touch with the president of the Garden City Foundation and said, we did actually give a scholarship every year to a deserving
That's so great.
business
Yeah.
student, and to rename the scholarship the Althea Robinson Excellence in Business Education Award.
Another great honor. Wow.
So this, to me, is closest to my heart. So
Yeah.
every year, we do provide the scholarship to someone who's excelled in business over at the high school
Great.
with my name on it, and that really hits home.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing. I hate to eat. I call it the Excellence in Business Education. I leave off my name because it's
No,
kind of
but that
embarrassing.
means
but
so
it does
much.
mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
Oh,
exciting too.
So we do this every year.
Great.
Yeah.
So you're married, right?
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah. How long have you been married?
66 and a half years.
How did you guys meet? I always love to hear these stories.
Well, I actually knew him in high school. I mean, I didn't know him. I knew who he was. Because he was he was a senior and I was a freshman.
Okay.
And I knew who he was. And fast forward a little bit, friends of mine were friends with his brother, older brother.
Okay.
And I started dating his older brother.
Oh.
Yeah, but there was no chemistry. There was no chemistry, so that was very short-lived.
Okay.
Anyway, apparently, my husband Jack and I rode the same train to the city to our jobs. And he used to see that I got on a station before him, And he said to his older brother, not even knowing that I had dated his older brother.
Oh, he didn't know.
No.
Okay.
He said, do you know there's this little blonde that gets on at Country Life Press Station before Garden City? And he said, I don't know who she is, but, he said, oh, I know her. I used to date her.
Oh, my God.
So that was fun.
That's
And
so funny.
The fun thing is that he started calling me, and I was never home. I was never home.
Because you were probably just as busy then as
Well,
you
I
are
was
now?
out with my girlfriends. I think he thought I was out on dates, but I was really out with my girlfriends. Anyhow, my mother said she really liked his older brother, and she said, I don't think he believes me that you're not here. You're just never here when he calls. So, fast forward. It used to be in New York City, when the temperatures got up to beyond 90 degrees, the offices all got let out. So the Long Island Railroad was like a cattle car. It was unbelievably crowded because all the offices were let out.
Yeah.
So I got onto the train and somebody pushed me in between the cars where you could stand.
Okay.
And I bumped right into my to-be husband.
Oh my gosh.
And he said, I've been trying to get you on the phone. And of course, I being so silly at the time, said, oh, you have? Like I didn't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Play it off.
the rest is history.
Wow, and you guys have been together since?
Yeah.
That's such a funny story. So do you guys joke about, like, the fact that you dated his older brother? Did that ever make it weird?
Sure.
Or you guys laugh?
We used to tell both my husband and his older brother, Don's wife, that we had a torrid romance, which wasn't true at all.
Yeah.
But we kidded around about it,
Oh, wow.
And of course, and my brother-in-law just became such a good friend of mine, he and his wife.
Yeah.
Even though they lived out in Colorado, we saw a lot of them. They
Yeah.
visited us, we visited them, and they were really good friends.
Wow. I love that story. That's so great. And long, successful marriage. What's the secret to that, too? A lot of people don't stay married as long
Make
as
your
they used
husband
to.
give in to you.
Make your husband give it to you. How do
But
you do
gotta
that?
do it. You gotta do it too. It's a compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I think because we both had such great childhoods, and I know I did. I mean, I just had the best childhood.
Oh, wow. That's
and
great.
it's such great memories to look back on. you
Yeah.
know?
Definitely.
And it makes me happy just to think of them, and I just try to be cheerful all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love what I do.
Well, that's great. So exercise every day and make your husband give in to you. And my life will be successful, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll be as successful as Althea.
No, I didn't hear that. Right.
Well, gosh, Althea, I feel like I could talk to you all day long about so many things, but I'll have to have you back on, definitely. But I appreciate so much you coming out and sharing all of this. It's been so fun. And people should look out for Althea's column in the Garden City News. And is there anything else that you want to promote that you have going on right now or talk about before we sign off?
Well, no, I just want to continue really with Rotary and with the Garden City Chamber. We hope that we can get some financing so that we can keep this scholarship going.
Yes,
for
that's very
a
important.
business student at the high school.
Definitely.
And yeah, we already have, a few things planning to do for the upcoming season, and we always appreciate suggestions. you know.
Cool. And where can people find those things that you have going on? Is there a website that you guys have or anything?
We do. It's not quite up to date at the moment. It's
Okay.
being worked on. They have to read my column and that way.
Okay, so
And-
read the column in the Garden City News.
As I was saying at yesterday's meeting, when I don't have a speaker coming up, or when I'm not ready to write about promote that speaker, I think, what else can I write about? So
Yeah.
this particular week was that case.
Okay.
And so I thought, well, I'm going to write about something.
Yeah.
So what I did was I took all the past projects that we did over the year, and I did a Rotary year in review.
Oh, that's so
and then
smart.
I put pictures in of a lot of the food drives that we did.
That's so smart.
So it creates an awareness. It creates an awareness about what our organization does.
Of course, yeah, and it's an important organization, so
It
that's
is.
a great idea. Well, Althea, thank you so much. Everyone, check out Althea's column in the Garden City News for anything upcoming and to stay up to date with that. Thank you so much for tuning in to the GC360 podcast. This episode was sponsored by Alliance Services, and you can find us streaming on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and of course, Instagram and Facebook. And thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.